Okay, so the upcoming Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 lineup. Let's go ahead and talk about them. All three of them. Let's jump in. All right, now if you've been following Samsung news over the past few days, or let's say the past week or so, then you probably are aware of what's going to be coming up with the next lineup of flagship tablets by Samsung, the Tab S8. And I'm talking specifically about the fact that there's going to be a third and new variant, the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra. And this thing is supposed to be a massive 14.6 inches in size. That's like TV type of size. That's kind of like a TV at this point, no? I mean, I'm just kidding, obviously, but I won't be able to hold it one-handed like I do with this one. This is a 12.4, which is already pretty large, and I'm able to handle it with one hand, but I can't even imagine trying to grip that thing with one hand. Now, rightly so, this is going to be the successor to the current flagship tablets, the current Galaxy Tab S7, which is the reason why these would be called the Galaxy Tab S8. And according to some pretty legit leaks, this upcoming lineup is going to include, as I already mentioned, the Galaxy Tab S8, the Tab S8 Plus, and of course, that gigantic Tab S8 Ultra, with prices starting at $, and $1,300 respectively. Now keep in mind that Samsung does price its devices according to the regions that they're operating in, right? So the prices that I just gave are pretty much just direct conversions of the current prices, or at least the projected prices for these tablets in South Korea. Now, it doesn't mean that because it's $1,120 for the Tab S8 Plus in South Korea, that's also going to be $1,120 here in the US. The price is going to differ by a lot when it gets to Europe, when it gets here, when it gets to India, and all of the other regions. Now, there's going to be a number of improvements coming up to this lineup of tablets, right? Notably performance and also additional features, which is what we would expect because it's supposed to be kind of the newest or the next generation of tablets. And I also want to highlight the fact that amongst themselves, these tablets are going to be sharing kind of the same features, a little bit like it is the case with the current Galaxy Tab S7, right? So the Tab S8, the S8 Plus, and the S8 Ultra are all going to share a lot of the same features. And for the sake of not repeating myself every time I go through the breakdown of each of this tablet, I'm just going to go ahead and fly through kind of a lineup of a lot of the same things that they each have so that I don't have to repeat myself as I go through the breakdown. For things like the Samsung S Pen is going to be available across all three tablets. You're going to have quad speaker setup for all of them. You're also going to have the micro SD card slot, battery that is fast charge capable, and many more, including a dual lens setup for the main camera module on the back, and that's going to be 5 and 13 megapixel, along with the flash, the availability of Wi-Fi, LTE and 5G models. As I mentioned already, they're going to have the same processor, of course. They all will be running a variant of the Snapdragon 888, which is the best processor available on the Android platform at the moment. And that is expected because that is the best way for Samsung to nurture all of the features and capabilities that they pack up their tablets with. So they would need the best processing power that it can get on that Android platform in order to handle all of that. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and do a breakdown of each tablet. And before we do so, if this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome, of course. If you do like the content so far, I truly appreciate that. Now, please do me a huge favor and hit both the like and the subscribe button there. It's a tremendous boost to this channel. And again, I very much appreciate that. All right, so the breakdown, and we're going to start with the Galaxy Tab S8 here, which is going to be the successor to the current Galaxy Tab S7. It's going to be loaded with 8 gigs of RAM, which is an upgrade from the current 6 gigs of RAM that you get with the base S7, right? And if you did watch my previous Tab S8 video, then you may remember that in that video I was hoping that they would stack up the next generation with 8 gigs of RAM, at least base, right? So it looks like they are doing that. We are looking also at 8,000 milliamp for the battery on the Galaxy Tab S8. It's going to be fast charge capable. It should be able to support 45-watt charging. It would also be able to support 120 hertz refresh rate, just like the previous one, or just like the current one. You have an 11-inch for the display size there. So again, just like the current one, TFT or LTPS technology here. I don't anticipate that there's going to be drastic changes in terms of looks or design, they're definitely going to make some slight changes, but I don't think that it's going to be so radically different in terms of look when compared to the current version. And that's the Tab S8 there. Now the Tab S8 Plus, and that's going to be the successor to the one that I have here, the Tab S7 Plus. Here you have an OLED display, well, at least that's what it says there. I'm assuming it's still going to be a Super AMOLED display, just like it is the case with this guy here. And that OLED display, as we see in the leaks there, is just more of a placeholder for the name. The battery is going to be a 10,090 milliamp, just like it is the case with the current Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. So again, it's grabbing a lot of the stuff that we already find on the current model and dragging that over to the next model. 120 hertz refresh rate, 8 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs and 256 gigs base storage. And finally, of course, we'll have the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra Edition. This model is the one with the most differences. It is going to be, as I mentioned earlier, 14.6 inches in terms of display size, and that is very large. I don't know that too many people are going to want to drag around such a huge tablet, but I'm pretty sure there's a market for it. I know personally I am looking forward to that, and I think that's the model that I'm going to go for. Anyway, so the battery is going to be just as massive in order to match that gigantic size, right? So you're looking at 12,000 milliamp for the battery. That is huge. It's going to be 45 watt supercharge capable, just like the previous one also. And this particular model, so the Ultra for the Tab S8 here, will have an additional 5 megapixel ultra wide sensor on the front of the tablet, added to that 8 megapixel camera that's already there. It will also have an OLED display, just like it is the case with the Tab S8 Plus there. And again, I'm assuming Samsung has that more as a placeholder and then will eventually tag that as a Super AMOLED when they're listed. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that's what they're going to do. It also will support 120 hertz refresh rate, and you will have 2 configurations with this tablet. Well, not this one. With the Ultra, you're going to have an 8 gigs for the base one, so 128 gigs, and then you also have the option to go up to 12 gigs for the 512 gigs of internal storage. So that with 12 gigs of RAM with 512 gigs of internal storage. And with all of this being said, here's something that I find incredible, right? It's the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra supposedly is going to be the thinnest out of that bunch. Out of the 3, it's supposed to be the thinnest, meaning you have something that's literally like a TV size. And I'm just kidding. It's not a TV size, but it's really large. And yet it's going to be the thinnest of the 3. Now, I'm very much looking forward to that tablet, for sure. But I don't know if that's going to mean we're going to, stumble upon a type of bend gate, like it was the case with, if you remember, the iPad. I don't know that that's going to be the case, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what it's going to be like in real life to hold that Tab S8 in real life, Tab S8 Ultra in real life. But we'll see. Either way, here's my take. Now, I have no doubt that Samsung is going to strive to make this, the best flagship tablet that they've ever made, right? And I'm very much looking forward to that. And again, as I mentioned, they've put pressure on themselves by making these very, very, very good, right? So let's go ahead and look forward to what this thing is going to come out loaded with. And I also have a sidebar that I want to add here. I had a couple of people contact me on Twitter asking why I'm not talking about the Tab S8 yet, and I think I've even seen some comments on some of my older videos telling me about it and that I should talk about it. As I really try to push as much content as I can, and I really do have a ton of content to push out over the next couple of weeks or so. And I don't even have that many days. And of course, I have other things that I'm working on. So if I'm not able to push to make a video like this one was delayed. Of course, I probably would have made it like the day I learned about it, which was like, I think Saturday or whatever. But I already had a content for that day. So if I'm not able to make a video like this one, I'm just going to go ahead and post something in the, on the community board. I think that would actually make it easier for me. So to those people, just bear with me, as I try to push out all of this content. I have a ton of things, coming up this week and next week. So I have a lot of work. But anyways, I do appreciate you sticking to the end of this video here. Let's all look forward to, this upcoming lineup. If anything drops, if I'm not able to make a video, I'll just go ahead and post on the community board. Don't forget to like, comment, share if you know anyone who will be interested in watching this video. Of course, I'm going to catch you in the comment section as soon as possible. And I'm also going to catch you in the next video. And as always, of course, up until that next video, make sure to stay safe out there.